Alright guys, we have the official global Twitter posts for the upcoming 9th anniversary units for part 1. Of course, we have DOKKANFEST LR BROLY, and we have Carnival LR Gogeta Blue. I know we all know what these do, but for the sake of the video, we're going to go through the details. We're going to react to the animations, of course, and the global versions of the animations and see if they are hitting or not. But we are 2 days away. We are 2 days out from the 9th anniversary finally being on global. So let me know how you're feeling down in the comments. Don't forget to drop a like while you're there as well. And if you are new, consider hitting the subscribe button. Cannot wait. I have got over 2k stones ready for this. So fingers crossed. But in terms of Broly, he will lead super bosses and transformation boost or full power with key +3, HP and attack and defense plus 170%. He will give the additional HP attack and defense plus 30% for characters that also belong to Exploding Rage or Movie Bosses category. Now, when he dropped initially on JP, super bosses weren't that great. We've had a couple of new additions, one of them yet to be on global, of course. We'll find out eventually, and actually through the 9th anniversary as well, when we're going to be getting some of those characters after the global and JP sync up, which is a major one in Cell Max. Rose, of course, dropped on global, not global, on JP, and then got a minor buff. So there's also him, and then we've had some easy A's. So while it's not the best category in the game, it's definitely got a lot better than initially when Broly dropped. And then he's also, I think, useful for one of the missions for the new, basically, superclass red zone that we've gotten with the 9th anniversary as well. So, you know, if you're considering where spending your stones, I know Beast Gohan's going to be our priority just because he is that good, but Broly is definitely a good pickup as well. As always with anniversaries, just summon on the Dokkan Fest banners. If you do manage to get them, then maybe branch out and go for the Carnival LRs as well, especially with the step-ups we're going to have the 9th anniversary as well. Definitely more bang for your buck. But Broly does have an entrance animation where, when activated upon his entry, he will gain key +5, attack and defense plus 100%, launch a guaranteed additional for 4 turns, which is very nice indeed. Start the turn with attack and defense plus 150, guaranteed guard, gain an additional key +1 per key sphere obtained, then gain an additional attack plus 50% on super, then gain an additional defense plus 50% if it is an ultra super attack as well. You'll then gain key +2 and launch an additional super attack as the first or second attacker in a turn. So that means for those first 4 turns off of his entrance animation, you'll have his standard super attack, you'll have his guaranteed additional from the entrance animation, and then you'll have another guaranteed additional as the first or second attacker in a turn. So some very nice damage, some very nice build up, even before he's transformed. But then he'll also gain key +6 and launch an additional super attack, and have a 50% chance of launching another additional super attack as the third attacker in a turn. So you could have one in slot 1, and then one on the other rotation in slot 1, or you could have one in slot 1 and one in slot 3, especially because one will have the domain active when transformed, one won't be. So you can kind of run it like that. But that still means standard super attack within 4 turns of the entrance animation. That's another one. Then you have another one for being in slot 3. And then have a 50% chance of another one for being in slot 3 as well. So that's 4 super attacks. So it ends up working out quite well no matter where you end up putting Broly. His link set is Prodigy, Super Saiyan, Berserker, Shocking Speed, Prepare for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. One thing that's always been against Broly with link sets is he has a standard Saiyan link set. Aside from like Berserker, who there's hardly any good units with that link, apart from like other Brolys, but then there's just never another Broly with a different name to link them with. Which is why I've been saying, Dokkan, drop a transforming Z Broly, please. Like, it'll be sick. It's time. They could work well together. But he doesn't link very well with other units that would go on his team because they're primarily extreme units unless you run them on a superclass team, which is fine. But Broly is just that good. Like, he's just that good, it doesn't really matter. Then, on his active skill course, he'll transform, which can be activated starting from the 5th turn from the character's entry turn, which is decent nowadays considering content is a little bit longer. And when he transforms, his domain will automatically activate as well, is one of them, where he'll create the domain extra dimensional space, and he'll raise extreme class allies by key +4 for 4 turns, which again, kind of helps out the fact that his link set doesn't suit, you know, the likes of extreme class units with like big bad bosses and etc. He will go on Super Bosses, Transformation Boost, Full Power, Exploding Rage, Movie Bosses, Pure Saiyans, Super Saiyans, Miraculous Awakening, Gifted Warriors, and Power Beyond a Super Saiyan. And on Super Attack, he will stack attack by 30%, raise defense by 30% for 1 turn, cause cross damage to the enemy. So all those additional supers Broly does end up getting, which are guaranteed, don't forget, he'll be stacking up very, very quickly. Then we have Broly's 18 key super, where he'll greatly raise attack, again stacking by 50% this time, stacking very quickly with all those built-in guaranteed additionals, and he'll greatly raise defense by 50% for 4 turns and cause mega cross damage to the enemy. And this is before this man is even transformed, where shit gets real. So now we have Super Saiyan Broly full power, and then once he transformed, he will have key plus 6 attack and defense plus 300% at the start of turn. He'll have guaranteed guard still, gain an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained, reduce damage received by 26% before attacking while the domain is active. So before he attacks, you have him in slot 1, he has guard, he has his defensive stats anyway, and then he has 26% damage reduction. And then after that, it kind of doesn't matter, even though he does lose the damage reduction, because he's then super attacked by that point as well. So Broly is very, very good. Like, I know Gohan ends up eclipsing everyone, but all the rest of the units are still good. They're still sick. They're still like joint top 4 or 5 in the game. Just Beast Gohan is just that good. Then Broly will gain an additional attack plus 50% when attacking. He'll gain an additional defense plus 50% when receiving an attack. So that also helps with having the damage reduction in slot 1 and guard. He'll then also launch an additional super attack, and then he'll have a chance to perform a critical hit plus 26% when performing a super attack. Then he'll launch another additional super attack and a chance to perform a critical hit plus 26% when performing an ultra super attack. Then he'll launch another additional super attack when key is 24. So Broly is doing a ton of super attacks and doing a ton of damage. And then on super attack, when he supers on 12 key, Broly is going to be raising attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn and causing cross damage to all enemies. On 18 key, will greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn and cause mega cross damage to the enemy. So as I said, Broly is very, very good. As I already said, he does have a domain, which is extra dimensional space, where extreme class enemies and allies attack and defense plus 10%. Gains an additional attack and defense plus 10% for characters who also belong to the Exploding Rage or Movie Boss categories as well. Increased damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 10%. So while that is that trade-off, Broly's doing way too much damage and good defensively for you to really care. And then coming out with Broly on his banner, we do have this Golden Frieza, who's actually very good. He actually works well with Broly as a slot 3 unit. Does start the turn with attack plus 116, defense plus 130. Performs a guaranteed crit within the same turn. And an additional attack plus 116, defense plus 130 for 3 turns. After receiving or evading enemy attack. He then has 60% damage reduction for 1 turn from the character's entry turn. So pretty much turn 1, he's kind of untouchable, which is stupid considering he's a side banner unit. He also has 50% damage reduction with 3 or more key spheres obtained. And don't forget, turn 1, that still applies. So that's 60%. You get 3 key spheres or more. That's 110% damage reduction. He has all of his damage reduction, or just full 100% damage reduction. Golden Frieza on turn 1 is, as I said, pretty much untouchable, which for a side banner unit is just stupid. And then not only that as well, after you get the 3 or more key spheres obtained in the character's next attacking turn, and reduces damage received by 40% with 3 or more key spheres obtained starting from the 5th turn from the character's entry turn. So even though it drops down by 10%, it's still 40% damage reduction. It's still good. And then Frieza gains an additional damage reduction of 20% when there is another Super Bosses category ally attacking in the same turn as well, which is why I said he actually works well with Broly's team and with Broly. So again, he's going to have like a total of, on turn 1, if you do get all the orbs, like 130% damage reduction. So again, turn 1, he's untouchable. But even after that, even when you go down to 40%, that's still 60% damage reduction. As long as you run him with a Super Boss category unit. I actually just have 1 attacking in the same turn, which again, if you get Broly, is just a guarantee. So you might as well keep him on main rotation. And then not only that as well, he does support Super Boss category units with key plus 2, attack plus 60, and defense plus 30%. His link set is Brutal Beatdown, Prodigies, Universe's Most Malevolent, Shocking Speed, Strongest Kind of Space, Thirst for Conquest, and Fierce Battle. His categories are Super Bosses, Gifted Warriors, Movie Bosses, Full Power, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Dragon Ball Seekers, Terrifying Conquerors, Target Goku, Revenge, Inhuman Deeds, Mastered Evolution, and Sworn Enemies. And on Super Attack, Frieza is going to greatly raise attack and defense by 50% for 1 turn, cause supreme damage of a 50% chance of stunning. As I said, Probably one of the best side banner units we have in the game right now, if not the best. He is that good, and as I said, works really, really well with LR Broly. No wasting time, we're watching these animations. We've got Golden Freezers first, which I've always liked the way this looked. Like, it just looks good. The DBS art style, the DBS Broly art style from the film just looks so nice on this. It just hits. It just hits. I completely forgot about the eye effect. And then when he comes out the floor, it's so good. And this is where Broly just throws hands. That's literally what it is. He just throws hands, bro. Haymakers left and right. Get booted. Oh, one thing I have to say, fair play to you. You mainly see it here, or in a second, is they capture that the little 3D effect, the little 3D art style that Dragon Ball Super Broly has in the film. They just capture it so well. Like, I might as well be watching the film right now. That's how good these animations are. It's just so sick. Just want to say that Pegasus and Broly unit actually ends up getting an easier in the celebration. And you got the Kraken through the dimension. It's look how good this is, bro. Like, come on. That's such a good shot. Such a good shot. Both of them are good shots. They're all good shots. That's a good shot as well. That's phenomenal. It's just phenomenal. I want Broly just so I can watch these animations over and over again. They're just so good. So good. There we go. There's Broly's and the side banner Golden Freezer's details and animations. You can let me know down in the comments. Will you be summoning for Broly? Will you be saving your stones for Beast Gohan? You going to summon for Gogeta Blue? Are you going to summon for the Gammas? Let me know down in the comments. I'm going to go react to Gogeta's animations now as well. Don't forget to drop a like, subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. And... Pox.